he gonna want his money back and some of my money and to be locked up. And then he gonna call that justice. That's called, and any Edomite in his right mind would say that's justice, right? So don't we have the right to have justice? So what did the so-called white man do ever since he got here? He done raped, robbed, and murdered the whole planet Earth. He done put hell on everybody. But now he don't want to pay for it? And that's why he doesn't want to acknowledge that he's an Edomite. All right?
Yeah. Back at the time of World War II, the bombers of Pearl Harbor, they rounded up every Japanese family in the United States and incarcerated them for about a year and a half. Then in the 80s, they gave them reparations of $20,000 per household for them being in prison for a year and a half.
Right.
So they received reparation or some type of justice.
Yep. So where's the justice for this?
Not just the Japanese, the Italians as well. They were put in concentration camps in America during World War II. The Italians, the Japanese, whoever they were at war with during World War II.
And then incarcerated. And then there's no reparations for the so-called black men. Even Judge Dred Scott won a case in court where he was supposed to be awarded for every
40 acres.
Family, 40 acres with 2 mules.
Right.
They didn't get nothing.
That's a Supreme Court case. That's a Supreme Court case. I'm not sure.
That was during the time Dred Scott was during the time of slavery, but what the judge said, well, look, you can't sue your master. You are a slave. That was the conclusion of the judge. All right. Now another thing, I got another script. You got something, brother? Give me what you got.
2 Thessalonians 1:6. Seeing it is a righteous.
You got to pay for the wickedness that you did.
Yeah.
I pay every day for the wickedness I do.
How you pay? And who you paying back? You say you're paying
every day in my own soul.
In your own soul. Okay, well you're gonna get it in your own ass too.
My ass is not gonna hurt as much as my soul.
Oh well, you can say that. While I got your ass in the field, all right, you can say
nothing will ever hurt my body.
Okay, good. All right, well good. Well that's good. At least you'll be able to take it.
Skip down.
Go ahead.
Says, and I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger.
Yeah, because we don't have enough anger. So the Most High is going to have to give it. He's going to have to put that anger in us. He's going to have to put His spirit.
You don't have enough anger?
We don't. Believe me. Believe me. We are not even really angry right now. We're very mild. We're extra mild. We're nice guys. All right? We're like nice guy Eddie, man.
Nice guy Eddie.
And according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord power.
Yeah, the Most High said He's going to put His spirit on us to do it. All right, I got one. I got a scripture here. 2 Thessalonians 1:6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. And it means just that. Recompense means payback.
To them that trouble you, yeah.
When you look up the word recompense, it means payback. So what does the scripture say? Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High, with God, to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Now who is this directed to? The Israelites living in Thessalonica.
Right? That's where my husband's from.
Thessalonica is up there in Greece. Corinth is up there in Greece.
Northern Greece.
Okay, good. Well, you know who's living all up in there? Israelites. The Apostle Paul went all up in there.
That's right.
Macedon, Ephesus.
He spoke
Greek. And Paul spoke Greek.
Yeah.
All right. So the only hope that you have is that you could be an Israelite, right?
And he wasn't teaching white people neither.
That's right. I'm sorry?
Paul wasn't going around. He was in Corinth, Greece, and those other areas in Asia Minor. But
there were so many Israelite black people living up there in Greece.
Yep.
It ain't even funny.
I'll get it right now. Acts 21. Because you had a heavy concentration of Israelites living in Greece. So if that's one of you, then you don't have to worry about this. Acts 21:7. And as Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee? Who said, this is what the chief captain said to Paul, who said, Canst thou speak Greek? So the chief captain was amazed. He said, You can speak Greek? Art not thou that Egyptian which before these days made us an uproar and led us out into the wilderness, 4,000 men that were murderers. And that's how we know that Paul was a so-called black man, because the chief captain looked at Paul, he said, are you, yeah, you can speak Greek, and aren't you that Egyptian? Now what color were the Egyptians? They were so-called,
so that proves that Paul was black.
Right. And also John
Cornelius,
19.
remember Cornelius?
Right.
In Acts, the 10th chapter, Cornelius? Well, he was the first convert to being an Israelite after he was called, prior to that he was called a Gentile, right? Oh, Timothy, the son of Paul, the spiritual son of Paul, in Acts 16:1. Matter of fact, read that.
Yeah, okay.
That was a black man.
That's right.
That was an Israelite. But he was in the Greek philosophy. They call it the Hellenins. Hold on to that.
Acts 16.
That whole thing about Greek civilization started with the Greeks is partially true, but it was black people. It's talking about the black Greeks, right?
All that mythology,
the
mythology that really came from black Greeks.
Yeah, those gods,
you have to
Zeus.
just listen to the music from the island of Crete, and you know it comes from Africa. Or from Israel, someplace else.
Yeah, the only connection. Well, let me say this: the only connection we have with Africa is we fled into Africa.
Well, you had Israelites. You had Israelites that lived in Africa.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. The majority of the Israelites fled in Africa 70 AD from Roman persecution.
But the music carried from one place to the next. People continued. If you listen to the music
of course,
the regions, you hear it.
Well, some of the Greek foods, you can tell that they were.
Oh, the Greek food is definitely we eat Greek. We know all the Greeks that we deal with, brother.
Greek restaurant we go to.
Yeah. We did. They're Israelites, man.
They're Israelites. They got that spirit.
They got that food, got spirit.
Yeah, they
so the only hope that you have, that whole thing, dancing and breaking glass.
Yeah, breaking the glass.
That tradition came from Israel.
Came from Israelites. Yeah, of course.
Well, I'm heading home to my family, but thank you for speaking.
Okay, well, you know what? You better hope that you're Israelite. You better hope that your family are Israelites.
I hope my children at least will.
You have just.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing to think. Thinking for your children. All right. Okay. All right.
All right. I'm called for Acts 16:1. Acts 16:1. Then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there, named Timotheus, the son of a certain woman, which was a Jewess, and believed, but his father was a Greek. So that proves that you had Israelites living among the Greeks.
Yeah, because Timothy's mother and his grandmother, they were both Israelites, and they knew they were Israelites. They were following the customs of Israel. But Timothy's father, he was an Israelite, but he was into the Greek philosophy.
Right,
that's why they called him a Greek. He was a Hellenist.
Right.
Now the Hellenists became Hellenists during the time of the Ptolemies, the Greek rulers of Egypt. When they came into power, that's when you had a lot of Israelites. Even going back to Antiochus Epiphanes, you had a lot of Israelites that were leaving the customs of Israel and following the customs of the Greeks. The so-called white men, the Edomite Greeks. And then what happened was they became uncircumcised. So they lost, so to speak, they lost their religion, they lost their nationality, they lost everything. That's why during the time when the Lord came on the scene, you had Israelites that were bugged out into these other philosophies of the other nations. So the Lord had to go. He made the first trek to them when he went to the Samaritans. Because you had Israelites in Samaria that were actually Israelites.
Yeah, that woman that he was talking with, her husband could have been an Israelite. The scripture don't say, I'm sorry, the scripture doesn't say, but her husband could have been an Israelite.
Right.
That's why he even talked to her. Because he was set up. Because the scriptures tell you, I think he abode there for 2 days. So there were Israelites around that area.
He told her to get a husband.
Right.
So why did he tell her to get a husband? If he told her that she's not going to worship at this mountain, nor at Jerusalem, you worship you know not what, why would he tell her husband to come to him if he was an actual Ethiopian?
Right. Proves that he was an Israelite.
Right. And he stayed with them 2 days and he taught them.
I'm sorry. You're going to get comments on the comment board. I see you niggas are going off again. Because they expect everything to be written in the Bible.
Exactly.
Every last word, They expect it. If it's not written in there, then it's not the truth.
Right.
But there's a word we looked up, extrapolate. Look up that word extrapolate, brother.
Extrapolate.